This is the Sunlu FC01 filament connector. I paid $70 Canadian for it. It comes with a small bag of specially sized PTFE tubes, which is a big part of the system. And this power cable, without the power supply. They take for granted that we all own these 5-volt wall chargers, which I guess we kind of do. But I'm thinking that at that price, they should have included a charger. Now, from purely an economic standpoint, we'd have to salvage an awful lot of these remnants to warrant the cost of that machine, right? Maybe there's an environmental argument that could be made. I like this planet as much as the next guy, but I don't think so. Not when there's a practical way to make use of remnants like this, which don't involve the expense or the effort of fusing these filaments, such as making up a bunch of these stir sticks like I use for mixing epoxy, or small trinkets such as these for scratch tickets, which I hand out to acquaintances. So what tipped the scales in favor of me getting one? It's a situation like this where you're about to print a bulky piece and you're second guessing yourself whether you'd have enough filament on the roll to do the job, and that by adding this remnant to the roll would ease your mind. You'd be a lot more comfortable that there'd be enough filament to do it without running out. Now, this is part of a large capacity dynamic bouncing machine that I'm working on. It's got multiple walls and 50% density, so it needs a lot of filament. It's a work in progress. It's a secret, so don't tell anybody. Comes with a book, and you can forget most of everything that it says in here because it's going to lead you astray when it comes to real-world fusing of filaments of two rolls. Such as this here, where they tell you to cut the filament ends at an angle so you get a larger contact area for a stronger fusion. I get it. It's all fine and dandy. But in the real world, when you're dealing with two rolls and the filament doesn't behave, you may not get these lined up right, and there'll be more harm than good. It'll be much, much easier if you just cut the ends square, and you won't have to worry so much about alignment, and the connection will be plenty strong. Notice the orientation of my snips here. And notice what it does to the end. If you want a good edge, turn the snips around. Use this face. And you'll get a nice square edge. The device has preset values for different filament types. ABS, PETG. I have found these values to be adequate. I had guessed what SV stands for, set value, but I couldn't figure out what PV was. I had to Google that. So it's process value. Basically is the actual temperature of the element. When it reaches the set value, it will beep 3 times. At which point you would put the filament and the PTFE tube and close the door. You wait a little bit, it will beep again. That means it's ready. You release the filament and take it out. All of which is easier said than done, right? This stuff here is really unruly. There is set memory into all this. It's pretty stiff. And back to my earlier point, that blunt ends on the filament removes one extra layer of concern here with having to align angled ends. And the other thing is that when this comes out of the heater, it's really soft. It's going to go all over the place, like it's going to get snaky. So there are solutions for this. This cradle, which is available on printables, link in the description. So the Sunlu FC01 drops into this cradle, okay? And the FC01 is kind of on the light side. So being in the cradle helps at least have this stay put while you're fidgeting with the rest of it. Now the smaller diameter spool is going to have even more memory into it, right? So you have to work at trying to get some of that out. Insert both ends in the PTFE tube and just allow that to rest above the heating element. Power on. We're on PET G. We'll wait until it reaches a temperature. 3 minutes feels like a long time. This is kind of slow. Close the lid. Another beep when it's ready. Open the lid, and we just leave it like kind of suspended there. Power off. Let it cool. We're not moving anything. So everything was held together nicely by this cradle, and this area here, when it was soft, didn't end up going all snaky. Now we can open up the cradle, release the filament, and that will cut the PTFE tube without cutting into the filament. Capable of strong welds that will make it through the extruder without the need of any trimming. This drill adapter is something else that can be found on printables. Link in the description. And now I can go ahead with that large volume print in the comfort of knowing I won't run out of filament. And I made use of a RedNet. Talk to you guys soon.